is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit and I plan, and I found out that I can execute if I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom. Read some books, something written, watch the best. Teach a system, I invest, never hidden, I ain't scared. Ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been
missing. Because it costs money, Alex Johnson.
Way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. It lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. And like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. It lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Saturday, November 16th at the South End Community Center in Springfield, Mass. We Are Wrestling is returning to the Wrestling Classic 5.
Zombie Hideout and Captain's Corner is putting together a lineup full of wrestling legends and Hall of Famers you have the opportunity to meet.
Some of the big names you can meet includes good old Jim Ross, JBL, Shelton Benjamin.
Olympic hero Kurt Angle, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Yo, listen. This is the best wrestler alive, Platinum Max, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hey everybody, Eric Bischoff here, and you are listening to We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hello everyone, this is Nunzio, former WWE Cruiserweight Champion, and you're watching We Are Wrestling podcast.
We Are Wrestling podcast. Check them out, man.
Stay tuned, listen to the podcast. Best one, Donnie might teach you a thing or two.
Wrestling. And if you don't listen to it, then it's one-on-one with The Undertaker.
Featuring your hosts, Dan and Donnie. We are wrestling.
What is going on, We Are Wrestling Maniacs Worldwide? It's Ben here. Today we're hosting the We Are Wrestling Podcast, episode 152, with, unfortunately, our anchorman, Don. He's out right now. He's sick. Get well soon. Man, I'm surprised I'm not fired yet before I was even hired. I fucked up that intro so bad, but, you know, that's what happens when we're live, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I was doing a good thing here. Realized that was an old advertisement. Said, oh shit, midway. Played the same thing for the live stream starting soon for like half a second, then played the intro. But that's what we do here. That's anything can happen live. What's going on, Danny?
What's going on, everybody? Danny and Ben here. We are the hosts today. That's when Donnie is currently under the weather.
And this is either going to be the best thing to happen to We Are Wrestling or the absolute worst thing to happen to We Are Wrestling, because us two studs are in charge, so you never know what is going to happen. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, man.
All right, Danny, before I continue with this intro, I just need to let you know, make sure that the right mic is plugged in, because it sounds like you're in a muffled basement chained to a fucking radiator. But guys, if you guys aren't following us on our socials, please do so down below. It's going to be a really great show today. We're kind of in like untreaded water, so we're going to do the best we can. But it's going to be a very interactive episode with you guys today, kind of more like a Q&A, see where we're at in the wrestling world, see how you guys feel, what you want to see, what we want to see, and all of the things like we just kind of mentioned above. But guys, welcome to the show. Danny, how you doing this week, bud? Holy shit, how do you do that?
I don't know why. Does my mic sound better? I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds a lot better. It sounded like you were in a muffled basement, dog. You might want to turn it up just ever so slightly, like, you know, in the settings. But before we start all this, what's going on? Best one, Donnie, feel good. Alex Johnson, live chat, how you doing? Dan, good to see you. Dan, my man. Aya, how you doing? What's going on? Benny Wright, you're yeet. What's going on, everybody? How's your week?
My week is pretty phenomenal. I didn't really do much. I had our buddy Taylor on my Monday stream, watching Monday Night Raw. Bro, you know, I could really get used to these afternoon shows, man. You know, because I do watch-alongs for all of them or whatever, so that's like 2.5 hours, and then right after that, I get to editing my clips for like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. And on an average night, I usually don't get done with all that shit until around 2 a.m. So, I mean, the fact that I can get everything done before 8 o'clock at night and I can have the rest of the night to fuck off or do whatever I want, I really enjoy it, and I wish we get more of
it. So basically what you're saying is Euro crowds over anything because, like, the time frame is immaculate for you, and you feel like there's so much more room for activities in that perspective.
Bro, if they did all their weekly shows in the afternoon, I'd be so happy, to be honest.
Danny would be a happy camper. Okay.
Plus, I mean, you heard the crowd on Monday. I mean, the minute Cena's music hit, bro, like, the crowd just went fucking nuts from, like, the beginning to the end.
Dude, there's one thing that I realized about Brussels, Belgium, is that they are one of the most divided fucking crowds I've ever heard. Loud as fuck. Like let's address the elephant in the room. They are so loud. They are some of the most passionate fans that I've heard. Like, Europe is they're really making a name for themselves here in, like, you know, the WWE universe. Soon, I just want all pay-per-views to be in Europe because holy fucking crowds, bro. But like I said, Brussels specifically is probably one of the most divided crowds when it came to anything that night, dude. There was chants going on both sides, and where it wasn't necessarily, you know, the most stellar Raw I've ever seen, they were fucking, like, in tune the entire night, man. Like, and it's like everything that they were shouting for was reasonable. Like, I could see both sides, which made it that much better of a show. Like, the crowd, man, is 100% a character in the show, and when it's acting right, and, you know, when it's performing the right way and the way that you want it to, it just adds, like, you know, that much more star power to the show. So it's really cool seeing, you know, the European tour, you know, live on camera and everything, you know, not like house shows or, you know, filler lives and stuff like that. So it's really kind of cool to be in that territory right now.
Yeah, because I believe up until this year, like, it was only house shows or whatever, and then they would fly to the States, do Monday Night Raw and SmackDown on Friday or whatever, and then they'd fly back out, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I enjoy it, man, and I learned something. I learned something during this entire process. Apparently Belgium is not in Germany. I did not know that.
No, Belgium's its own place, bro.
I kept calling it Germany, and a bunch of people on my comment section were correcting me, and so I just felt like I had to, like, you know, just put it out there.
You had to clear the air. He was unaware that Belgium was its own fucking air. That's where Dr. Evil's from, bro.
New every day.
You've seen fucking Austin Powers, and you're just learning that fucking Belgium is its own place. That's where Dr. Evil's from, bro.
Do you realize how long it's been since I've watched any of those movies?
Oh, come on, man. Those are fucking timeless classics that take up my rent.
So
that take up my head rent.
But you're not apparently a fan of it, you fucking chud.
Of what?
You chud monkey. Happy Gilmore.
I'm not a fan of Happy Gilmore. I never have been.
Exactly.
And I'm not even going to see it just because I'm MJF.
You like fucking. You like Austin Powers, but you don't like Happy Gilmore. Something's off, man.
Well, I mean, then here, hold on. Best one, Donnie, the live chat. Let me put this up. This doesn't need a fucking super chat. During my Cena reaction, I thought it was in Barcelona. This fucking
Hell, man.
I
I do want to.
Barcelona was SmackDown, buddy. What's up?
I do want to say something. Just to fill in the live audience or whatever. And we pretty much talked about it earlier before the show, and you guys were both in agreement of it. When it comes to the chats from the audience and you guys viewing the stream or whatever, from now to going forward, the only chats I think that we're going to be pulling up, except on a very rare occasion, will be super chats. And the reason why that is because me, Ben, and Donnie feel like if you're willing to pay to have a question answered, it should be something special. And if we're bringing up every single chat that somebody sends in,
we're never going to get through the show. We're never.
That and it's just, if you're willing to pay, to have a question asked or whatever, it should be special. And if we're just, pulling up everybody's chat, I mean, there'd be no need for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when it comes to the super chats, like, it doesn't have to be on topic with whatever we're talking about. Like, if it just comes to you and you're really not trying to lose it before, like, we're done with the topic, super chat it and we'll stop dead in our tracks. And then we'll pick up with where we left off. That's kind of like where we're going with it.
Exactly. Memberships and super chats take main priority over anything on the channel. So
basically, Angelo's the goat of the stream right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Angelo, you are fucking goated, my good sir.
Yeah, but
happy Axiom. Bro, Axiom, talk about a fucking banger he had with Gunther.
Yes, big banger. But I kind of want to put some kind of structure onto the show. And first of all, what was your highlight of the week?
Oh, my highlight of the week, probably Cena's promo in a way.
Okay,
because I feel like that's just the biggest talking point so far. You know what I mean?
Okay, now answer this. Why?
Because I feel like
what draws you to the promo specifically? Like, what are you excited about? Like, what did you get out of it?
Because I feel like it was John. Like, I feel like this promo was the promo that he's been thinking about over the last 10 years. I feel like back in 2012, whatever, when he was going to turn heel, this is exactly the kind of promo that we would have gotten, because it would have been a lot more prevalent back then than it is now, whatever, because back in 2012, 2013 or whatever, the audience was 100% split. There's a lot of people that hated Cena, they like Cena, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I do feel like he's been thinking about what he was going to say if this moment ever came. And I feel like he gave us just enough to get excited, but he didn't give us a lot to really sink our teeth into, meaning there's going to be more. He's going to be on the next several episodes, the next several weeks or whatever. So, you don't want to give everything away right away. And the confrontation that he had with Cody, I enjoyed it. And I liked how he called Cena a little bitch. But I do feel like it should have been a little bit more intense. Like, if I was Cody, I would have ran down to the ring and, just fucking start swinging on Cena and have security guards just add a little bit more to it. Cause I mean, this dude literally
substance.
This dude literally punked out Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, allowed The Rock to beat him with a belt.
And Travis got to bust his fucking eardrum. Yeah.
Exactly. It just didn't seem like he was as mad as he should have.
Speaking of what, quick, on topic but off topic, have you seen Stevie Richards' video of him just trashing Travis Scott for the whole fucking spot? I watch a lot of Maven, I watch a lot of Stevie Richards, and for shits and tigs, I watch fucking Rene Dupree, Cafe de Rene. I haven't lately just because I've been watching a lot more serious shit.
I watched a little bit of it, but I don't think I got to the
Dude,
I watched it one day before I was gonna go on stream or whatever, and I just never went back to it.
Yeah, I will 100% say, dude, give it a watch. Stevie's 100% on point with everything he says. He thinks Travis Scott's a fucking asshole and should have gotten fucking jumped in the parking lot, and I don't even blame him, dude.
Well, part of me feels and I want to know your thoughts on this.
What's up?
I do feel like Cody's the one that that was told him to punch him or whatever. So I do feel like that was Cody's fault in a way. He's the one that. I don't think Travis Scott would have touched him if Cody wasn't lean in on it. You know what I mean? Just to add more realism to it.
Yeah. No. See, I think that they agreed to have him do a spot, but I think Travis got a little carried away with the energy that was in the ring and actually bitch slapped Cody and ruptured his eardrum, which
Could have been.
If you've actually seen anything and it's another thing. It's amazing to see like how much like him and Seth Rollins have grown close in this whole situation and scenario. Like even Seth Rollins was like, yeah, there was a lot of frustration on Cody's end with the whole thing too. Like,
yeah,
and it's kind of cool to see them praising each other. So quick dub for that. But yeah, dude, the whole thing, like again, just to kind of put my highlight of the week out there, it's the same thing but for a negative standpoint. I'm probably one of the majority and probably a minority that is in agreement that was probably one of the weakest things I've seen and probably one of the biggest disappointments I've seen.
Yep.
I understand, I guess, like, why they're doing it, but it's like you started off so fucking strong. Like, you started this whole thing off super strong. You had Cena look like a fucking beast at Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
But then he shows up on fucking Raw and he's a whiny bitch. Like, what the fuck is happening? I streamed for the first maybe hour of the show before my shit got blocked, and I was just so disappointed with not only how whiny it came off of and just how like left field it felt, but even Cody's response was so fucking lukewarm, dude. Like, it kind of diminished like my want to watch the rest of the show, if that makes any sense, because I'm just like, dude, it was almost too different. Like, it was almost too out of character, like it's like I was expecting new shit. Like, I know what John was saying. Oh, nobody gets new music, nobody gets a new look, which I'm gonna say it right now. People say, oh, this is fucking genius. Nah, dog, it's not genius, it's fucking lazy. It's lazy as fuck, dude. Like, if you really wanted to completely overhaul this thing and really put, have people want to watch more, is if there's different shit that we're getting. If we're just getting John Cena bitching for the rest of his fucking retirement tour, dude, I'm gonna turn my TV off. Like, it's so boring already. Like, I'm already like kind of checked out of it. I like that Cena's keeping everything the same, because if he changed his look and theme, it wouldn't have given him heat. Okay,
yeah, because everybody's been talking. Oh my god, what look is he gonna have? What theme is he gonna be using? Like, John Cena is more on the internet than he wants to make it out to be. You know what I mean?
Excuse me.
The guy over here dying.
I get it, but at the same time, it's like, dude, it's so fucking lazy, man. Like, at that point, it's like, what was the point? What was the point?
I knew he wasn't really going to change up his look or whatever, because like 2 days after Elimination Chamber, I remember I posted in the group chat. I was like, bro, like, John Cena has new merch for Belgium coming out, on WWE Shop or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's a spoiler, 100%. But at the same
he
time,
always, whenever he has new merch comes out, when he appears, he always, reps whatever new merch he has out or whatever. So I kind of knew he wasn't gonna, come out like a different Cena.
I think over time, the smart thing would be to do that slowly. Like he needs a gimmick change. Like, yeah, cool. He's like, oh, I'm not a heel. The moment he said, I'm not a heel, I was so pissed off, dude. Like, I was so pissed off. I'm already not buying into this new character, like, at all. It's because it's not even fucking new. It's just John Cena, but whiny. Like, I almost didn't believe him at all in that promo. Like, I almost thought, like, dude, this is stupid. Like, this is literally just John Cena bitching about nothing. Like, even the things he was saying made no fucking sense. I'm like, John Cena turned heel for this? Wasn't he the one saying that, like, he needed a good, compelling story? And at first it seemed compelling. I'm like, okay, we're going in a good direction. But there's something about that promo on Monday that just completely turned me off of it entirely. Like, I'm almost like detached from the situation. Like, I'm curious as to what's going to happen next, but I'm not excited. See,
I'm not a heel. Donnie, I'm not a face. I'm a human being.
See, that's where I'm in complete disagreement. That's a cult frame of mind, dude. Like, everybody that's John Cena fan is gonna be like, oh, this is gas, dude. Nah, not me, man. Like, it's not gas at all. This is honestly the most lukewarm shit.
I feel like what really
you don't have to look outside yourself for validation. Well, yeah, but at the same time, like, you're kind of looking for that validation now.
I feel like if this took place in any other part of the world or whatever, like especially the US, he would have got little to no reaction. I feel like. What made the segment to me was the crowd, because of how hot they were.
Exactly
Like
what David Madge said here in the live chat. I thought it cooked because of the crowd. Exactly. The crowd was on it. They came to work, but the promo itself, I can't say
when you
it
really
was
look at
lukewarm.
it, when you really look at it, the show itself was fucking ass, from start to finish.
Oh, yeah.
There were some good matches or whatever. I loved what
The crowd
Penta
ran
and
it.
Kaiser did. But I read this thing from WrestleVotes earlier today that Jay and Theory were supposed to go 11 minutes, but they cut it for time because Cena's time ran too long or whatever. And then I was sitting here thinking, I was like, and I even commented on the post, I was like, they ended the show 10 minutes early. They're on Netflix. They're not on like cable television to where
They
they
could run
need to
it
end
4
at a
hours
certain
if
time.
they fucking wanted to. Like,
Exactly.
there's nothing coming
So
on after. What?
That makes absolutely no fucking sense. The fact
That's
that
another
they
thing.
cut.
That's a missed opportunity I've noticed when it comes to Triple H's era is he is dropping the ball when it comes to the run times on Netflix. Like, dude, if you're gonna have it 3 hours, there is so much you could do on Netflix compared to what you couldn't do on cable television, and you're dropping the ball that fucking hard. The first episode of Raw was 3 hours. After that, it just kind of went downhill. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this?
I actually don't mind a 2 hour and 2.5 hour runtime or whatever. Because I mean, like, it fits. You know what I mean? For the most part, like, Raw has been a lot more enjoyable than SmackDown has been at 3 hours.
But that's not saying much though, because it already was before it went to Netflix.
Yeah. I feel like it's star power too, whatever. Because like Monday Night Raw, like they have Roman. Roman's like primarily on Monday Night Raw now since the move to Netflix. They have CM Punk. They have Rollins. They have who does SmackDown have? They have Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest.
Okay, so this is actually a good segue to go into like another kind of topic here, but something that I'm really not feeling lately in the world of wrestling is that nothing's a fucking secret anymore. Like Malachi Black, Aleister Black is going to be on SmackDown, the fucking SmackDown after Mania. Like, dude, why announce that? Why not just have him come back when he comes back and just have us mark the fuck out? Secrets were the greatest thing in wrestling, and that's just gone now. Like, even Ray Phoenix is already getting promos. I'm like, dude, just have him fucking show up and cost Penta or something if you want them together immediately. But if not, dude, like, do something, but don't. There's things that should be a secret, and that is not a secret. But at least SmackDown's getting the star power it needs.
My response to that is, I feel like majority of the casual fans or whatever that go to these WWE shows, like they don't know what fucking dirt sheets are. They don't know what WrestleVotes is. They don't know what a lot of these dirt sheet writers are. But like for us, like who are content creators, like it's essentially our job to talk about the news, talk about stuff that's coming up or whatever in the world of pro wrestling, But like majority of WWE fans. Now, if this was AEW, yes, 100%, because every fucking buddy that watches AEW is a mark, essentially.
Yep.
But like WWE, like they know, for the past 30 years, it's been on at Mondays, 9, 8 o'clock, whatever it is, and they can watch it.
Yeah.
There's some people that watch it while they're having dinner. They shut it off before the show's over to go to bed, so they can get up for work the next day or whatever.
Brad?
So a lot of the WWE audience, they don't know Malachi's coming back. They don't know Ray Phoenix is coming back or debuting.
Man, but that's what the beauty of it was, That's the beauty of it is like, finding out while you're not watching it and being like, dude, fucking turn your fucking TV on right now. Aleister Black is on WWE television. That is how you get a spike in ratings. If people just know about it, they're going to tune in for a second to see what's up and then just fucking dip, Like,
did you also
secrets are great.
Did you also realize something about this whole Ray Phoenix video package?
No, because I'm not a Ray Phoenix fan. Why? What's going on?
They showed it on SmackDown, but they did not show it on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, because he's going to SmackDown.
It was either you or Donnie that said that he was going to go to SmackDown.
Yeah, it was Donnie. Donnie is 100% the one that said he was going to SmackDown. Yeah, they're not going to put them together now. They're not going to make their first head-to-head anything until the Rumble. They're not going to see each other at all, which is honestly fucking smart because now you have space to build that for over 6 months. You have a lot of time to build that that tension for them to be together.
Yep.
I'm stoked to see the Usos versus the Lucha Bros eventually, but I hope they get a rename because I hate that fucking name. I hate that name so much. Like, I hate it.
You don't like the Lucha Bros?
I don't like the name Lucha Bros. It's fucking generic. It's like Luchasaurus. You were flaming that before you found out how much of a beast he was. But at the same time, it's like it just seems so. It seems so PG, and I don't like it. It's like at least come up with something clever when you do inevitably put them together.
The Lucha Men.
Shut the fuck up, Danny. But all in all, like I feel like secrets are really what's missing from wrestling, and it would have been huge watching Aleister Black come back randomly because his debut in AEW, was it kind of seen, but nobody knew when, nobody knew how. Like, I don't want somebody to announce it and then have it fall short. That's the worst thing. The name isn't anything special. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan. I feel like out of every lucha tag team or whatever, I feel like Rey Fenix and Penta were like the darkest version of what lucha is. They came out with like metal music and heavy guitar riffs and drums, and they had like fire in their promo, whatever. I just like the entire presentation of the Lucha Brothers. I've never really had an issue with the name, but I never really loved the name either. It was just they're brothers, the luchadors. It kind of makes sense. So I don't mind it, but I also don't love it at the same time, if that makes sense.
No, I got you, man. I just realized I didn't give Ricky some heat for his Cena opinion. Why would I give Ricky heat though? I mean, there's a lot of things I could give Ricky heat for at this point when it comes to I don't know. Ricky Knows Best ain't my favorite segment like it used to be. I feel like it's starting to run its course soon. It's about to be canceled. Seems like you guys are on the same page now. Yeah, I just I don't know. I get we're on the same page, but there's still time. I'm not gonna give 1 week. I'm not gonna give 1 week. Something for me to not watch anymore. I'm not gonna give one time for to be like, all right, I'm completely checked out. Am I disconnecting in real time? Kinda, but there's still time. There's still a few more weeks until Mania. There's still 30 something days. So it's we still have a good amount of time before anything happens. So, I'm not going to jump the gun and say oh, this is the worst fucking thing that's happened. No, they could be planning something massive because it's they decided to pull the trigger at Elimination Chamber. What's going to happen at Mania now? It's what are they going to put in place of that? That's what I'm excited about. But I'm also hoping that on the roadway there, things start to make better sense. Things start to pick up a little bit more.
You know what I'm excited about?
What you excited about?
So, for those of you, I'm pretty sure everybody in here knows or whatever, but it recently came out that on WrestleMania weekend, I think that's Saturday.
I know what you're talking about. I know where you're going.
Steve Austin has a signing at WWE World.
That's a spoiler.
Vegas.
Yep, and that's a spoiler. 100%. We're gonna hear glass shatter. 100%. They already paid his ass, and he's in the best shape of his life.
He lives in Nevada. He doesn't live in Vegas. He lives a couple, an hour or two away, but he lives there. He could essentially go there, whip the Rock's ass, get in his little buggy, and drive the fuck home to his ranch.
Oh yeah, Steve Austin. We are getting 100% what we were supposed to get when Cody finished the story. We're getting Steve Austin, doing some shit at this Mania, which I'm so fucking excited. I'm so excited to have The Rock and Stone Cold in the same ring going at it again, dude. It's gonna be nuts, bro. We're getting that Rock and Austin stare down. It's gonna be spine chilling. Yeah, dude. Autographs are a ripoff for Steve Austin. Fuck fanatics, dude. So I'm actually one of the one people, and Danny can confirm because I've showed it to him physically, that actually had a Steve Austin fucking signed picture, and I didn't have to go to any Fanatic Fest for that shit. I had it, and that's one of the one things I didn't have to go to a convention for because when I was a kid, we went to a signing after a show, but he was still performing. So this is back in the 90s.
Bro, back in I want to say 2004. I was actually living across the street from Donnie at the time, and my aunt had a friend, Fran. You know Fran, but
of course I know Fran.
Primarily for the people that
Francis.
My had a friend who had a friend who was head manager at Hertz rental car office.
Yeah.
And whenever WWE stars or whatever, they would come, they would get cars and talk to her or whatever. Bro, at least, a couple times a year, I would get autograph photos from The Undertaker. I would get photos from Brock Lesnar. I never got to meet him, obviously, because she did it while she was at work or whatever, got them to sign it. But I would just randomly, like a couple times a year, I would just randomly get like, a bunch of like autographed photos.
And look
I
what
had
you
the
did.
Brock
You didn't
Lesnar
hang.
one
Yeah,
until
yeah. You didn't
years
hang them
ago.
up or anything. They got destroyed, and now they don't even exist anymore. You piece of fucking shit. You could have had the wrestling gold mine, and you fucking literally threw it away. You asshole.
Well, I mean, it wasn't anything special. It was just like a promotional photo with the WWE logo at the end. At the bottom, it was
That's
a
still
white
worth
photo.
bucks, dog. That's
I mean,
bucks.
I guess.
What'd you do with them? He used them as toilet paper, then threw
What
them
I
away.
do with them, I don't know. In between moving and
His aunt probably sold them.
back in the day, I was not like I didn't really care about like keeping my room clean or whatever. So my grandmother would clean my room because I would just
throw
shit
shit
that
away.
didn't want to do nothing. Yeah, my grandmother would literally throw shit away. So who knows what happened to him? I might have the Brock Lesnar photo somewhere. I would have to look. So
Yeah, good luck
But I
finding
don't
that shit. What is the biggest thing that you're looking forward to for this Mania season so far? Like now that we're officially like on the road, like what matches that are starting to shape up that you're excited for?
I'm really looking forward to CM Punk, Seth, and Roman. And
I'm
we're
not
gonna get
gonna
all
lie.
three of them on SmackDown on Friday. So I do feel like we're
stoked.
gonna be getting that match.
Dude, honestly, at first, like, just hearing it wasn't enticing whatsoever. But now, like, watching it unfold, I'm like, okay, this is kind of hype. This is kind of hype. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, this is kind of fucking hype. It has a lot going for it. Like, I didn't think that I was gonna be invested as I am. However, like I am both shocked and impressed that I am, because the story is probably one of the most compelling I've watched before, and it doesn't even involve the bloodline. It just involves Roman Reigns, which it has been a long time since Roman Reigns like stood by himself. So this is kind of the first feud in years that he's kind of like, on his own for, because he's pissed off. So this is kind of a nice way to take him out of, the main event scene, or, like having the bloodline constantly around him. We finally get to see him go off and do other things with different people, but it doesn't involve a title. It doesn't involve a monstrous fucking thing. Like, we're going, what? Rest in peace, Joe Rogan.
That's random. Joe Rogan didn't die.
No, the fuck he didn't. But, like, we're going with some pretty fucking crazy shit. In the, going out with WrestleMania season right now with Roman, Seth, and Punk. And there has actually been a lot of substance build there. I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of stock in it for me, dude. Like, it's one of the ones I'm looking for. Do you think? And this is something else that I've noticed too. Yes, CM Punk is owed a favor by Paul Heyman. I think organically he's gonna get into the match, because you can make a triple threat without fucking ruining a favor. Triple H has said something recently saying that, like, just because it's a title match doesn't mean it's gonna be the main event. Like, you have to outperform, like you have to earn it. What if the favor is making that match the main event of night one? Because does really anybody have a lot of stock in Jey Uso versus Gunther right now? Not a lot. No. A lot of people are actually kind of pissed about it, which I've been reading a lot online, but that's another story. Do you think that you could see Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns as the main event for night one?
Yes, because that's the biggest match that WWE could do. The amount of history that Punk, Seth, and Roman have, people forget that back in 2012, whatever, whenever the Shield was brought into WWE, they were brought in as essentially bodyguards for CM Punk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So there's just a lot of history there. When CM Punk first came to WWE in like 2005, and he got put on ECW or whatever, he was training at OVW. And Paul Heyman was essentially very crucial in him getting a job with WWE. We would not have Punk if it was not for Paul Heyman or whatever. So there's just like a lot of history there. You know what I mean? So I don't see. Plus, this will be CM Punk's very first WrestleMania match since his return in 2023. So I don't see another way around it. Like, there's not one match WWE could do I feel like that's bigger than Seth versus Roman versus Punk. Roman essentially he beat Seth's ass, but he essentially helped him win the cage match at Madison Square Garden. And then after he's, the security comes out and Pierce comes out or whatever, we see Paul Heyman in the ring consoling CM Punk. And Roman, Roman didn't like that very much. Like, there's just so much story within this storyline. You know what I mean?
Just to step out of character real quick. Did Triple H give up on Theory? Triple H never started on Theory. He was a Vince McMahon product. But going back to that, yeah, dude, there's a lot to unpack with CM Punk and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. There's a lot of history there. There is years of that shit. I'm excited to see what Roman has to say because he hasn't shown us with words how he's felt. He's shown us with actions lately. So I'm excited to see what he has to say because all three of them on the mic is an unmatched thing right now. That's a triple threat I'm looking forward to seeing before the actual triple threat because, dude, we're going to have some fire on Friday, dude. Friday's turning into a must-watch show, too.
Yep. And, at the Rumble, I knew that we were essentially going to be getting this triple threat match.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it was Seth that eliminated Roman, and then Punk eliminated Seth.
Logan Paul eliminated all of them, basically. All of them, basically.
So, and with the history that Seth has gone on record for years saying that he doesn't like Punk. You know what I mean? And obviously, with as dominant as Roman has been, this is essentially like a dream match for a lot of people. So, I'm looking forward to it, man. Yes, SmackDown is going to be in Bologna, Italy, and I'm going to be live on my channel at 2:00 in the afternoon on Friday watching it with everybody. So feel free to tune into my channel. It's going to be big. We're going to have Punk, Roman, and Seth all on the show. It's going to be massive. I'm telling you, I feel like at some point Roman's going to get so fed up and he's going to, whether it's intentional or not, he's going to end up going for a spear and he's going to essentially end up spearing Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I could honestly see that happening too. I don't see this feud ending at Mania. I see it carrying over to Backlash. But then, I mean, I'm interested to see what the fuck happens because Orton and Cena are the only ones that are confirmed for Backlash right now. So it's like, is Orton going to have anything to do with this? Probably. I think Orton's going to get involved at some point because there's history with him and Cena too, and with Cody. So
Orton's going to have a massive match at Backlash, whatever, because it's in his hometown. It's in St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, of course.
So, he's going to have to, be put in some kind of big angle going into it. And I do feel like something happens at Mania. But the thing is, I don't know how everybody else feels, but I don't want it to turn into what it turned into last year. We had Cena show up, we had Undertaker show up, we had it was pretty much a fucking a flashback of all these different generations. I don't essentially think that Cena versus Cody is necessarily needs that. I do want to see Austin because it'd be cool. All these years later, whatever. Everybody knows the history that Austin and Rock have. It'd be cool to have one last stare down.
Yeah, Donnie's cooking though. Heyman turning on Punk and Roman. Yeah, dude, I think he's cooking. I think Seth Rollins about to be a fucking. He's about to be a Paul Heyman guy.
I mean, it's definitely a possibility.
Orton and Cena for the retirement match, dude. Hell, fucking yeah. I would take him or fucking CM Punk for his retirement match. I would take either. They're both full time and active. I would even take a triple threat at that point for his final fucking match because that's star power all over it. Those are two massive feuds.
Apparently, his retirement match is going to be in Boston, so I think Donnie said he was going to go.
I want to go too. Oh yeah, it's going to.
Do you realize the fuck how the ticket prices of that show that are going to be astronomically high?
If it's a pay per view or a PLE, then yeah. But if it's a regular show, it's probably not going to be. I
heard they're gonna be making a PLE called Ruthless Aggression. So. What that's gonna be about, I don't know. But I essentially I talked to you guys about this
barrier, Alex,
earlier.
Yeah.
I feel like they should bring back Armageddon. Because Armageddon used to be a December pay-per-view.
I want Armageddon back. I want No Way Out back. I want Judgment Day back. I want Bad Blood. I want all that shit, bro.
Judgment Day, bro. They literally have a faction called Judgment Day. That could have been an easy thing to put together, but they haven't.
We need super chats to get us to Boston. I probably won't be with the TKO price. I probably won't be making it.
If you guys want the three of us
to make the vlog of your lives
and go and make content for John Cena's very last match in Boston at the end of the year, send super chats.
Yep,
tickets are going to be very expensive.
Yep, exactly what he said, man. Like, bring back the old stages. Bring back the fucking fist, bro. Like, I remember when rumors were circulating about that shit. You know how hyped I was? That was the one rumor I wanted to be fucking true so bad, was that the fist was coming back, dude. I would give up a lot of shit for the fist.
I actually don't mind like the smaller stages or whatever, and like seeing the fans behind it or whatever. I don't know.
I hate it
because I feel like it works with like the drone shots now.
I feel like they're fucking.
But I will say, for PLEs, they should have different stages. They should have like they essentially should have like some kind of like instead of just a
delighted
graphic,
Donnie.
Instead of just a graphic, they should have a like a stage or whatever that represents what PLE it is. That's what I do think they should do.
I do miss that quite a bit. Armageddon's was dope. No Way Outs was dope.
Remember that TLC one where they had like a bunch of strands of fucking chairs and shit just hanging from the fucking stage?
Yeah, it was dope as fuck, dude. It was dope as fuck. The Raw Titantron. That'd be fucking awesome, man. Yeah, Corey Graves came back. Yeah, he finally made his Netflix debut.
Bro,
I was
wild,
marking
man.
out when I saw him, dude. I was like, oh shit, he got a promotion for the night.
Because I knew Pat McAfee wasn't going to be on the show because he has a bunch, he has his podcast and stuff like that or whatever. So it would have been very inconvenient.
You got it, buddy. You got it. I already took a peep at it and I laughed.
I can't wait. I haven't even seen that video yet.
All right,
so
I'm not even gonna wait till the end. I'm gonna show you guys now. I'm gonna get you guys. I'm gonna give you guys a tease of what's gonna be coming next week, guys. When Best One Don is here. So, guys, this was a little snippet of his interaction with Mercedes Moné on my behalf. God, she's my favorite in the whole world.
This year, I'm gonna personalize this to my friend Two Ben, BEN. He's kind of mad that I'm beating you.
Well, so that would be nice to you after this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so excited, dude. That's a good friend right there. The best friend I've ever had. Getting me all of my CEO merch, all of my stuff signed. God, guys, you guys are in for a show next week. It's unfortunate we couldn't do it.
We still got to get you a puppet.
Yeah, dude. I need it. I need it really fucking bad, dude. Like, I'm literally going to have that in my backdrop right next to me the whole time. Were you here for JD from New York removed from commentary to House of Glory?
Yeah.
She had. Oh wait, who are we talking about? Who had JD from New York removed from commentary to House of Glory?
So JD from New York, he does commentary for House of Glory, and
Jesus. Oh yeah, I'll let you take this. That's your man's.
Essentially, he got taken. I don't know the full story because I don't watch House of Glory like the shows or whatever. They're on Triller, but
Triller.
He. Apparently, Mercedes wanted him taken off a commentary or somebody like that was part of her team or whatever because of some stuff that he said. But like, as somebody that watches JD, I can outright like 100% confirm that I don't think I've ever heard him speak an ill will about her. He's essentially been like, Tony Khan has really dropped the ball and really fucked up her momentum because she was a star in WWE, but she hasn't done nothing in AEW. That's essentially like what his demeanor is when it comes to it. So this whole idea that he does nothing but trash her is kind of funny to me.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, it's a situation. It's a whole situation. Yeah, dude. CEO all fucking.
And the reason
day,
why,
dude.
and the
best women's wrestler period.
All right. I'm not a dick rider, but somebody that makes content, somebody that does podcasting, somebody that can be some kind of outspoken at times.
Yeah.
The idea that people take a 2-hour live stream and then cut out like a 2-minute section or whatever and post it on social media to make it seem like you're the bad guy. I mean, it's not really like, if you really want to know JD's thoughts, watch his full content. Just don't take things out of context about what he's saying.
Yeah,
that's
what he
essentially
said.
what people do.
Yeah, dude. I I don't know. JD calls the fans the gotcha. JD goes there.
That's because they kind of are, bro. Not even gonna lie.
I want to know who got Cena to turn heel. The Rock wanted it. Is Hunter not in control of the WWE? He's in control of creative, so he had a very good hand in all of this. Rock is a stockholder in TKO, so I wouldn't say that he runs WWE, but he runs the creative, so he 100% greenlit this.
Yep, 100%.
Listen to what he said about Alexa. What did he say about Alexa?
He said something about Alexa back in like 2016, 2015 or whatever. I can't remember exactly what he said, but ever since then, people have been fucking on his ass about everything that he says.
Did he lose his credibility because somebody was not down with the bliss?
I know he really did not like the supernatural aspect of her, and he didn't like that she was with the Fiend at one point. He thinks that she needs to go back to the goddess character because that was her best character.
Oh my god, dude. She's barely scratched the surface in this return, and he's already fucking saying some shit. Like, dude.
Well, he hasn't said it recently. This was like back in like 2015.
Oh. Yeah, 100%, dude. Like, the Lily character was running really dry. The Rocks were calling the shots here. They made it that way. They made it that if he was able to be involved in any way, that they were gonna, kind of like loosen up plans for him this year. It's not gonna happen every year. Just for
Donnie, he didn't cry about not being let go at the after party, not let in at the after party, bro.
He cried because they didn't let him go to the after party. What?
No, he was in London with his buddy Jesse for AW All In. And he was walking by a bar, and somebody for AEW stopped him, whatever, and was chit chatting. And they said hi or whatever. They talked for a few minutes or whatever, and then JD left. And then somebody went on Twitter. Somebody from AEW went on Twitter with being saying that JD was butthurt that he wasn't let in when he didn't want to go to the party to begin with. So, bro, this is what I'm saying. Like, you as a podcaster, like, don't take things out of context. Like, unless you like hear it, like, straight up, don't listen to what you hear on Twitter because those people are fucking
I don't spend
retards.
any time on Twitter, so
Twitter is the fucking
time.
Twitter is the biggest fucking cesspool of fucking degenerates I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, it's basically Walmart, but on the internet. So yeah, I get it. I get it. But yeah, there's I don't know. I mean, like, I'm excited for Mania, but at the same time, there's like a part of me that's like hesitant that wants to hold the hype because I don't know. I feel like the build for last year's Mania was better. Like, yeah. I feel like, it was built a lot better. So I'm trying to kind of hold my breath here just because, I don't want to go in thinking that we're going to get the spectacle. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I think the most hype that I'm going to have this year was the Rumble because the Rumble was fucking massive,
Mm-hmm.
I think 2025 as a whole is going to be pretty cool, but this whole Cena thing just kind of it put a wrench in a lot of the things that I see going forward. Like I don't know. Like a lot of people are like hyped about this like new thing after this promo, but like that promo did things to me, man. Like it did weird things.
I part of me knew like from the get go that John Cena's heel run wasn't going to work or whatever because he would have essentially needed to like. Bring up things that happened, fucking 7-8 years ago. And like, that time's not relevant now. It's his retirement year. Everybody, including people that used to hate him, love him now and they want to see him succeed. They want to, follow him along this fucking journey that he's on or whatever until his retirement. Like, I knew from the get-go it was not gonna work. I knew it. Like, this should have happened, 10 years ago.
Yeah, man. You are absolutely right. Vince fucked up a lot of things, man. He really did.
And I feel bad for Triple H. I feel bad for Triple H because the shit that Vince did fuck up, he essentially needs to try and fix. But I feel like the damage is already done. Look at Shinsuke. Triple H booked him like a fucking monster in NXT. Vince got his hands on him, booked him like a fucking jobber, and now everybody's fucking blaming Triple H for Shinsuke not getting over on television when it's essentially not Triple H's fault.
I mean that, and like they're also taking responsibility off of him because his fucking brother just died, man. Like his
Well, it
brother
wasn't
just
his real.
died.
It wasn't his real brother. It was like something kind of like how me and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So
but still, like that's still a massive loss, man. Like you're not gonna want that kind of
Triple H is
responsibility.
far from perfect, but I feel like a lot of the stuff that's on television or whatever, like the reason why people are over or not over. I mean, it's very hard for him. You know, I
Triple
feel
H
like
can
he
only do
gets
so much. The
exactly.
superstar has to run at some point, man. Like for example, Ricochet, amazing in the fucking ring, was terrified to put a mic in his hands, and he's still fucking proving it in AEW why nobody put a fucking mic in his hands, or he didn't have the monster push that
I
he
will
had.
say, his work in AEW, like this is probably the best work he's ever done in his career. Like he's
Just
actually
tell him
like,
next time that he's gonna throw a hat off of his head purposely to make it look more authentic and not like purpose for the fake fork to go in his bald ass head.
there's even it was a pair of scissors. There's even people that are saying that him versus Swerve was like the best story and the best match of Revolution. And that was like a fucking 15-match card. So it's like the best work he's doing in his career. Like, from an actual story perspective, they didn't really give a lot of story to Ricochet. They just saw him as this high flyer in WWE, go out there, put on a fucking banger. That's essentially what they had him do. And I feel like this is the most story I've seen him involved with, since I started watching him. You know what I mean? So I honestly think he's killing it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Swerve is absolutely over in AEW. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm like the biggest Swerve fan, but I will say that the dude is definitely one of the best things that they have over there. If he were to come back to WWE in a couple years down the line, the dude could be a massive star. He's a former world champion elsewhere. Like this dude was literally a part of what was it, Hit Row? Yep. Fucking Hit Row, and he was the first motherfucker to go.
Botchdala.
Yeah, dude, he was the first person to go, and when, WWE came barking back, he was not about that shit. He decided to stay behind and, make his own name, which was probably the best fucking thing that Swerve could have done. When he goes back to WWE, dude, he's going to be massive. He's going to be a massive fucking name.
Yeah, 100%. I will say, as far as
Flop
like
dollar.
Swerve goes, yeah, flop dollar. Remember when he fucking belly flopped over the top rope and nearly fucking killed himself?
Yeah. Same thing that Jay did just this past Monday.
I know.
That's another thing that hurt to watch.
Is AEW doing better? I wouldn't necessarily say they're doing better. There's still a lot that needs to be improved. You know what I mean? Like
they're not doing good. They're not doing any bad, any worse. So they're just kind of stagnant right now.
I actually haven't watched an AEW show since Revolution, so I don't. I know tonight they're doing a rematch from Revolution. They're doing a street fight between Copeland and Moxley
for the title.
I mean, yes. And the winner of this match, I think, goes to Dynasty to face Swerve with the title on the line.
Fuck. I mean, hey, that's gonna be sick. That could be sick. Like I want so badly for people to fucking, to thrive and a company to thrive, but man, dude, like they make it so fucking hard sometimes.
They do.
They make it so hard sometimes.
I still say to this day, like AEW is good for pro wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because people in WWE, they wouldn't be making even as successful as WWE is, they wouldn't be making the kind of money they're making now if it wasn't for AEW. The people in AEW, because there's only so much room on the WWE roster. AEW gives people another place to work to where they can, be able to feed themselves. They can make a living doing what they're good at and what they love to do. So, Tony Khan needs to get a grip on
reality a little bit, so to speak.
Essentially, yeah.
What would we have for a main event topic tonight? Like, what's there's nothing bigger really than John Cena, which we kind of already started with. Like what is something that would be a really good main event? Like what's circulating other than John Cena right now? Other than that, it's been kind of a dry ass week when it comes to wrestling. A lot of up moments, and AEW's kind of suffering. TNA's getting some pretty good traction. What, Theory being buried? Why?
Theory is not a fucking main event, bro.
What is your obsession with Theory tonight, Donnie? That is like the 50th thing I've seen you type about Theory. What's going on, bud? What do you got to get off your chest? like, what do you got to get off your chest? Bro, what's up, Judge? Theory, more dislikes than like fans are pissed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's people are not happy that Jey Uso won the Rumble, and they're really, really showing it. But what's weird is Jey Uso gets some of the biggest pops whenever whenever Monday Night Raw is live and he comes out or whatever and does that entrance through the crowd. Like he gets some of the biggest pops.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it's only the fucking degenerates online that fucking don't like it. So
yo, I saw that shit, Angelo. Io needs to win at Mania.
I think she does. Io is very talented. It just
the
thing here's
it's the
what I'm gonna
language
say or
barrier.
whatever, and watch somebody clip this and fucking post it on social media and make it seem like I'm racist or whatever. Vince McMahon did not want to push Cesaro. Even phenomenal wrestler, phenomenal performer, could do a lot of things that a lot of people couldn't do. But Vince didn't want to push him because of his language barrier. He was not that well spoken. But yet we're giving all these pushes to Shinsuke, to Io, to Asuka. Not one of them can barely say hi in English, and everybody's they're so over with the crowd. It's just I don't know. I just feel like the language barrier, it just throws me off. Like they're phenomenal. They're phenomenal, competitors in the ring, and I'm glad they're doing what they're doing. I just wish they wouldn't speak. Or if they are gonna speak, like I love what Triple H has been doing to try and get Shinsuke over with the whole, the vignette promos or whatever, to where like they, he speaks Japanese or whatever, but he has like the text at the bottom of it. Like I love that
subtitles.
kind of shit. I love that kind of
they
shit.
made him into like an anime character, man.
Like I wish they would do it for Io and Asuka too, because like neither one of them can fucking speak English, and like it just throws me off. Whenever they want to give them a live mic on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or whatever it is, it just throws me off.
Yeah. I could go on and on and on about how good Io is. The language barrier 100% is the thing. But when it comes to Theory, I do agree with Donnie. I think it's time for him to to kind of bounce, and I think it's time for him to go somewhere else to really build back who he is. Maybe find a new gimmick.
The most notable thing Theory did was fucking that whole fucking storyline with the dinosaur egg or whatever.
That, and also fucking he's more of a good feature wrestler right now than he is an actual star. Like he adds really good substance to interesting matches, like his match with fucking Pat McAfee, Stone Cold's involvement, Vince's involvement, Look how they were on top of the air before and then they fell. Yep. They had him turn on Waller a lot sooner. Dude, I thought they were going to a long time ago.
I feel like it. I feel like it's coming.
It's coming?
It's coming.
Is he going to turn on Waller?
I feel like it's coming. I don't know when, but it's going to be coming. And like, there's anything that I know about Triple H, it's long. He loves long drawn out stories, which is, I mean, it's not always a good thing, but it's also not always a bad thing. You know what I mean?
That's his guilty flaw. Everybody has that when it comes to creative, and that's like, his too long.
You don't know what stories are always going to hit. You know what I mean? So, the longer a story gets, the more likely it is to improve in certain things. You know what I mean? Like the Bloodline storyline was running extremely stale, in 2021 or whatever. They added the Sami Zayn element, and it ended up becoming one of the biggest storylines in the entire company. So like the reason why he likes long drawn out stories is because like it may not be good right now, but 2 months from now they add a certain element to it. It could end up, exploding like the Bloodline storyline. So I essentially agree with, his take on it,
I do too, in some ways, but I also agree with the fact that, there's some times where he waits too fucking long, Another thing is like putting stock into the wrong things, like, or not putting enough stock into them, number one being Wyatt 6, so they're falling heavily short. I understand that Bo Dallas got injured, but it's like, there's a whole roster out there. There's a whole whole thing you could be doing. The Wyatt Six could be doing some crazy shit right now, but they're in catering at the moment. Like they're waiting for Bo Dallas to be better for them to do anything. Like at that point, you're taking away the star power. You're taking away the momentum.
I
And
feel
it's
like
kind of
now
tarnishing some legacies at the moment. So
I don't know. I don't have any verification about this. I haven't read anything about this, whatever. But I feel like Triple H has a vision for it that involves Uncle Howdy. Like I feel like there's going to be a bigger story to play out than what we're actually seeing on the surface right now. I'm just not quite sure what that is, because there has to be a legit reason. You have 4 guys, and you have the 5th guy or whatever that's out. I mean, they could be doing something on TV, but they're not for whatever reason.
I can't wait for Uncle Howdy versus LA Knight with a US title opportunity. Like that's gonna be a fucking insane match. That would be an insane match considering that was Bray's last fucking opponent. There's a lot of substance to build on. A lot. And there's a lot of understandable things that LA Knight could probably bark back with. So there is some good things happening, but at the moment I'm not entirely sure, how or when we're gonna get there because I don't know, man. Like there's a lot of great talent in that group, but by not using them, it's gonna hurt them a little bit. I just hope we pick it up the pace a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that Joe Gacy could be doing. Dexter Loomis, they could essentially be doing something on TV. Make Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy into like a tag team, like have them like be shoveled into like the tag team division on SmackDown. Like there's a lot you can do.
Go off, have fucking Nikki Cross go off. There's a lot of shit you can do. I know that Bo got injured, but there's other superstars that could be doing things right now. Like they could be doing other things. 100%. They don't have to be sitting in catering. There's ways they can weave into storylines. I don't know. There's a lot of, like I'm starting to. They did nothing before the injury. Exactly. So it's like, dude, there's things that I do dislike and things that I like when it comes to Triple H's booking and like with things that he's doing. But right now I'm in kind of my low point. Like I'm almost like
I will say when Triple H gets something right, he gets it right though.
Yes, but when I say that this promo fucked me up, dude, like it almost made me disconnect from wrestling in general. Like I was so hyped on it, and then just something about that promo, I'm just like, dude.
But I will say
killed something in me.
I will say, do you think Triple H had a lot of input in what Cena said? Because I mean, a veteran like him, somebody that's been around for 25 years, that's not somebody that you really like go up to and be like, "Hey, I want you to say this."
Did, Donnie.
Like you essentially, like John Cena can essentially say whatever he wants because like he's been doing it long enough to where he knows like where to go with it.
Everybody.
So I wouldn't put the blame on Triple H on what Cena said.
No, 100%. I would 100% say that he greenlit it because he wouldn't have let him walk out there in the first place if he didn't. But I feel like everybody that was involved in that angle had some input on it. But for me, that was the biggest opportunity that I feel like was missed and was a completely missed landing. Like I wasn't about it.
Yeah.
So I mean, who knows? We'll see, like what's going to happen, within these coming weeks, because right now, other than what happened with Cena, it's kind of a dry week for wrestling. Like not any big things are happening other than like, the Mox and Cope rematch, Cena's promo. There's a lot more negatives this week than there really are kind of positives. Even like, again, rooting back to, Jey Uso botching that suicide dive. Same exact way AJ Francis did. And this is the guy that's going for the title. Like, I feel like I
will say, like, I mean, that could happen to anybody. So I wouldn't like blame Jay for that. I mean,
I'm not blaming Jay for it either.
But I mean?
it's supposed to feel special, and there's not a lot of special feeling about it other than like, oh, Jay's gonna win the world title and he's gonna lose it in a couple months. Like just to say that he did it. Cool. I'm glad for the moment, but there's not a lot of star power in that now. So it's like it's a rough week, man. But is there anything that you want to add to like to the week and that you want to touch base on real quick?
No, man, I think we pretty much covered it. It's only me and you here. Johnny's out this week or whatever, so it's not like we can have like a 3-person conversation. So very dry week. Hopefully it gets better and hopefully there's a lot more to talk about next week.
Yeah, dude, I 100% get it, but we'll see what happens, as the weeks go on, like I said. But guys, thank you so much for tuning into the show today. It was a very different show, and we apologize. Things happen, life happens, but today was just to kind of touch base and kind of give our thoughts, and more of an extra part of this episode, if you will, to kind of touch base on what was going on, kind of like give our thoughts on how we felt about John Cena's promo this past Monday, and kind of how the road to WrestleMania is kind of forming. There's not really a lot of things that's going on that's really noteworthy of heavy discussion other than that, but let us know in the comments below what you guys thought about today's episode, all the topics that we covered. What did you guys think about John Cena's promo? Can't wait to see you guys next Wednesday right here on the show. Dan, is there anything that you want to touch base on?
Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, follow Ben on Twitch, whatever. I do go live for Raw, SmackDown, sometimes AEW, whatever. So if you guys want somebody to hang out with, kick it with, talk with, watch the shows together with, hit the subscribe button on my channel. Check out Best One Donnie. He has a massive vlog coming out on Friday. And Ben Twitch is out.
I Twitch out like a motherfucker.
Week, so.
Also, this Friday coming out is the big event vlog. Be sure to check that out right here on the We Are Wrestling channel. Be sure, like Danny said, to subscribe to all of our links down below. And be on the lookout for a lot of future content coming out on We Are Wrestling. And be sure to follow our Clips channel. We have a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out in the coming days as well. A lot of cool content for you guys to sink your teeth in the wrestling world. But guys, great show today. Great questions, great conversations. Big dubs. Appreciate that, buddy. But guys, to all the We Are Wrestling maniacs worldwide, we are taking over. Peace.